must apply for welfare?
You must apply for welfare. Otherwise, this would constitute a misuse of ADC funds.
Which is fraud.
You understand? If the husband's unwilling or unable to make a contribution equal to what it would cost him to maintain an independent living arrangement, he must apply for welfare. Do you understand? Otherwise, this would constitute a misuse of ADC funds.
Which is fraud.
Which is misappropriation.
Which is fraud. Right, okay, now wait. Wait a minute. Now, if I marry this lady, I want to make things better. But if I spend $1 on it, you're going to deduct it from her, right? If I want to buy a little something extra, you're going to deduct it. And I better report every penny I spend, or else I'm a crook. Okay, now you say if I lose my job, I must apply for welfare because I can't just sit around eating the government's biscuit.
Which is fraud.
Because that's a fraud, right? Okay, now, if I do go into welfare, then I'm just another lazy-ass nigga that's living off taxpayer. All right, now, suppose I do not marry this lady. Now, if I move in with her and do not tell you, then we're both crooks, right? But if I do tell you, then we're back to the income and the outcome and the deducting, and you drive me to drink.
Now that was a clip from the 1974 movie Claudine, starring James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. And it was the start of the independent woman.
Right now, we are in a gender war. I ask young women all the time, do you have friends that are men? Oftentimes the answer is no. And then they take a step back and they're like, wait, you're right. I don't know what happened. We are being intentionally divided. And when we're divided, we don't see each other. We don't feel for each other. We don't have empathy for one another. When we actually interact, in many ways socially, we then understand one another's struggle and we see our struggle in one another. And that is the work, the most important work that we have to do right now. Oftentimes the conversation is, well, how do we debate better? How can you debate when you're not even connected? The first thing you got to do is actually connect. And then you can talk about how we argue better. But there's a missing step that needs to come first that we're not paying attention to.
This is how they talk in group settings, but they don't never want to talk about how women just sit around and bash men all day long. That's all they do. One man will do something to them and they want to blame all men.
And I absolutely do think that men and women are being pitted against each other. And we're finding ourselves in a place where we're constantly fighting over what, who said what, who did what, who's violating who, who's a misogynist and who's not, and who's, I'm exhausted. It seems to be a movement that is dedicated to ensuring that men and women don't get along, one, and that men and women no longer find value in being in meaningful, healthy, loving relationships. I think there's definitely an agenda aimed at men and women becoming adversaries. I think it was Sadia Khan who said that there's a lot to be gained from convincing people that love and relationships are toxic and that independence is the thing, right? It's the thing, because independence breeds more customers. Porn industry, social media, cosmetic surgery, it makes sense from a marketing perspective for us to be constantly at war with each other. Genuine love and connection is definitely under attack. Definitely under attack. There's this widespread belief that when a man falls in love, that makes him weak, or when a woman falls in love, that makes her subservient and dependent. There's this unwillingness to understand each other's perspectives, each other's viewpoints, each other's experiences, personal experiences. And I'm not sure how long we're going to be doing this for, because at the end of the day, we do need each other. Human beings are designed to love and take care of one another. We are designed to want and need and crave human connection. So I don't know how long this phase is going to last, but yeah, it's getting tiring. I just wish that more people would look beyond the surface level of issues that are happening right now.
Ma'am, the only people that's craving attention are women. Do men want to be in relationships? Yes, but we can be by ourselves. We are used to it. We can go all day without you, especially now in the modern time. You know how much shit we have out here to keep our minds occupied? You guys are the one who need that human touch. We just need to bust that from time to time.
2,489 comments. And I would say at least half of them were this.
That is unbelievably sad. That is horrible. If you guys don't know what this is from, I had asked a question that was for men that said, who do you talk to when you're feeling those big emotions, when you're feeling upset? Like, who can you confide in? And a lot of people said their dogs, their partner, their mom, their children, their best friends, God, or higher power. But a very large amount said nobody. No one. Men don't talk to anybody. They would rather bottle it up, keep it in, process every emotion that ever was huge or big by themselves, because life had shown them too many times, or too hard of a time, that people would use it against them as ammunition. And it's not like this is the first time I've heard this. It's just, it's really eye-opening when you read the comments. And it's sad. And, it's 2026, right? You would think that this would have been different. It's not. This was really prevalent, I would say, 80 years ago. It was probably a lot worse than what it is now, is what I'm saying. But it's sad that this is still such a big deal. Because I know from a woman's standpoint that women tend to talk about their emotions frequently and quite openly. And although some people might use it as ammunition against them, it's not like this. And it just makes me think, like, at what point in time during the little boy stage to adulthood is that young child / young adult experiencing this? Because when I read this, I just see a bunch of young little boys who are craving for someone just to hear them out. And this is not about, coddling them and all. No, they just want someone to hear them, listen to them, and not use their emotions against. That's like a basic human common courtesy that somehow men don't receive. And although I can't talk to every man who feels this way, I will say that I'd be willing to hear you. I'd be willing to talk to you. I'd be willing to just sit there and listen to you go through your emotions if you need someone. And I know there are other women out there, but it seems like there's not many. And that's really sad. So if you made it this far and you're a woman, please be 1% that actually listens to a man. And if you're a man, you've made it this far, please talk to somebody. If it's another man, if it's your pets, if you're journaling about it, at least it's better than just bottling it up. But I am sorry.
I don't think you can abolish the patriarchy by claiming to hate all men. Villainizing men and saying that they only want one thing is the same thing that these alpha men are doing towards women. Except they're not saying outright to hate all women. The attitude that they are giving towards these women is hate, but they're clouding it as something else in order to trick men into thinking that women are something that they deserve. Women aren't even human, so you don't need to treat them with respect. That's how you encourage the hate for women. But if we just sit in a circle hating each other, we're not going to get anything done. Nothing's going to happen from that. No solution is going to come from saying, well, we just hate them, so they're going to be horrible. That gives them space to be horrible. We should not expect them to be horrible. We need to set a standard. Instead of just saying you hate all men, figure out why, and then when you see other women entertaining the behavior that you hate, call them out and tell them that that's not okay, that that person is treating you that way. The only way to overcome misogyny is with unity. We have to be together on something, but to be together on hate is just not going to work. It's not conducive. It's not going to encourage any useful conversation. It's just like a lingo at this point. It's just something that you say. It has no real meaning or merit. It's just something that you're supposed to take and accept, which is not acceptable. And calling them out does not mean, oh, you should just break up with him. That doesn't work, and we all know that. Calling them out is encouraging introspection from these women going, is this okay that he's treating you that way? Do you like being treated like that? Do you realize that you don't have to accept the bare minimum and you never should? And your identity is not contingent on whether you're in a relationship or not? Why don't you ask those questions instead of just break up with them? It's more than that, and we all know that.
I find it so ironic when men are like, I hate gender wars. Gender wars in the big 2026? When it's literally just women retaliating over the centuries of misogyny that's been put on us. It's the same energy as when women were like changing their profile pictures to purple to protest the violence against women, and men changed theirs to green because they were protesting against our protest. Like, they just have to barge in into every single conversation, into every single thing, and just ruin it. They just have to. Like, it's just an instinct at this point that men have. And not to be too woke, but like, saying gender wars is so oppressive. Like, it's such an oppressive term because, like, if this gender wars were to go away, it would just be women being oppressed again. So I don't even know, like, I just hate men so much. Oh my god. Oh, it's Ramadan. Love men. Alhamdulillah for the creation of men. Alhamdulillah. Trust. When Ramadan ends, I'm back on that man-hating grind. Okay, just not right now.
You see how they can come on social media and say they hate men? Men can't do that. No, you guys started this gender war. I'm talking about the modern one that's going on today. By watching all those movies, Color Purple, What's Love Got to Do with It, TV shows like Sex and the City, listen to all the music from Taylor Swift to Beyonce, TLC. You guys have been bashing men forever because one man hurt you. Because that's how weak you guys are. You're just weak. And that's it for this video. Until the next one, the truth will set you free.